Everybody, welcome to another Dennis Kirk Tech Tip. This week, we're going to talk about replacing your drive chain. Okay, so what you will need for this job, obviously, is a new chain, a chain breaker, like this one from Motion Pro, as sold by Dennis Kirk, a socket to loosen your rear axle, wrenches for the chain adjustment mechanism on your bike. In the Yamaha's case, it's a 10 and a 12, a screwdriver, and a small little hammer to tap the master link off. Unless you have specialty master link pliers, this is an easy way to do it. I also like to wear a pair of rubber gloves because, hey man, chains are dirty. You want to keep your hands clean, right? Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is remove your stock chain. A good way to tell if your chain's clapped out is if it goes side to side that much. If I take this off, I guarantee you I could arc it into like a semicircle, half smile. So what I like to do is I got to find the master link, and I put it on the sprocket so it can't go anywhere. And as I said, tap it off, put the screwdriver against it. There you go, it's gone. Fell on our floor. We have the epoxy paint chips. I'll never be able to find that again. But it's okay because I have a new master link that comes with the new chain. So you could use the screwdriver to help work the master link off. And okay, so here's the chain. You can tell it's pretty worn out by the amount that I'm able to bow it out and make cool little waves in it. So that's a good indicator that the chain is ready for replacement. So what we're going to do is lay it out on a bench or the ground and line up the new chain up against it to match the number of links that you're going to need. So we have the new chain. We'll lay it out against the old stalker. If your bike is really old or your chain is extra clapped out, it might be better to do this on the bike because if the stock chain is too stretched, it could be hard to line up the links against each other. So in this case, instead of lining it up and matching end to end, what I like to do is line up the links, pull them down, keeping them aligned. So that I know exactly where to cut the chain. So here we go right here. This is the end of the stock chain. So I like to fold it there. This and this are the two links that we're going to remove to make the chain the proper length. Okay, so taking the chain breaker, the first pin that I will push out is the one at the end of the chain length desired. So you bring the chain into the chain breaker like such. You want to bring the stabilizing part of the breaker down into the chain. So you tighten this with a wrench and the pin descends in and pushes the pin through the other side. As you're tightening it, you can actually feel the pin leaving the chain roller. Becomes actually easier to turn once the pin starts coming out the other side of the chain. When the pin is pushed all the way through, you'll see it gets a lot easier to actually turn it by hand. So let's open up the chain breaker and reveal the. See, we pushed the pin all the way out. So there's our chain. There we go, link to link. So the next thing we're going to need to do is loosen the rear axle of the bike, bring the chain adjusters forward as the new chain will be shorter than the stretch out old chain. So we'll have to adjust the position of the rear wheel on the bike. Loosening the rear axle so that the rear wheel can move forward on the swing arm. loosen the lock nut. I'd say a good amount is about 5 turns of the wrench in on each side. One thing to note is that when you change your chain, you should also change your sprockets at the same time. We did, however, do a product test on this new MotoMaster sprocket. So the sprocket only is about 2 weeks old. So you'll see I adjusted the adjuster bolt in. So push on the wheel, get it pushed forward, and let's thread our new chain through the sprockets. We'll start by leaving it, putting the chain on the rear sprocket. It's always easiest to feed it forward into the counter shaft. Spin the counter shaft until it comes out the bottom. Get it over the chain roller. Feed it through the chain guide. Get it matched up with the sprocket bonneau. Bring it up to the top. And you can see, since we pre-adjusted the adjusters, I'm able to get the 2 ends of the chain lined up and ready for the master link. So every new chain comes with a master link. Consists of a link, a plate, and a circlip. So go through, get that fed through, make sure it's against the other plates of the chain. Bring the other plate on. Now here's something pretty important. You put your master link on, you want to put it with the opening facing the rear. Why is that? Because when the master link is on and you're lubing your chain or going forward or even riding, if it's facing forward and you have mud buildup in the counter shaft, guess what? It's really easy to get it knocked off. So you want to always face it rear. So I slide it over the pin and use the screwdriver to coax the bottom half over the other pin, and then a little tap, and it's on. So you need to give it a good review and make sure that that clip is in there nicely. Master link pliers sometimes pull in and squeeze this way and force the clip to open around the pin. I like to do it my way. So it's on there nicely. The only remaining steps are to adjust the adjusters the same on both sides. Tighten up your axle. Modern day motocross bikes, you want 3 fingers between the top of the chain buffer and the bottom of the chain. So as you can see, this is a little too tight, so I'll loosen that up before I cinch everything down. So there we go, we have it all set, proper tension. Last step is to lube your chain. Yeah, it's brand new and it's packed with lithium grease, but you can never have too much lube on your chain. We like to use Maxima synthetic chain guard. What you want to do is, I always recommend you use the nozzle, and you want to aim it at the insides, the 2 inside edges of your rollers right here and here. Lube it on the bottom near the chain guide. Couple rotations of the wheel. Good to go. Give your chain a look and figure out if you need to replace the chain on your motorcycle. Good luck.